solemnly swear.
On Capitol Hill, top U.S. intelligence officials argue the National Security Agency's sweeping surveillance programs must stay intact to keep the United States safe and are not a violation of privacy.
We only spy for valid foreign intelligence purposes as authorized by law with multiple layers of oversight.
But a growing number of U.S. politicians believe the NSA spying programs go too far and should be restricted.
I'm asking, has the NSA ever collected or ever made any plans to collect American cell site information?
So what I don't want to do, Senator, is put out in an unclassified forum anything that's classified here.
If you're responding to my question by not answering it, we will continue to explore that because I believe this is something the American people have a right to know.
The vast scope of U.S. spying was exposed this past summer when former NSA contractor Edward Snowden leaked classified documents. On Wednesday, a group of Democrats and Republicans introduced legislation intended to restrict government access to those records to include only those suspected of terrorism.
It is the most comprehensive, bipartisan intelligence reform proposal since the disclosures of last June.
But U.S. surveillance isn't just being challenged domestically. There are also international concerns. On Tuesday at the United Nations, Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff challenged the U.S. spy program. Earlier this year, it was revealed Rousseff's own communications may have also been monitored by the NSA. President Obama has defended the U.S. surveillance, but now acknowledges a need for reform.
We've begun to review the way that we gather intelligence so that we properly balance the legitimate security concerns of our citizens and allies with the privacy concerns that all people share.
But despite outcry over the surveillance, the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee is drafting competing legislation that would broaden the government's intelligence powers so it can spy on targets that travel to the United States after being identified overseas. This new legislation shows just how vast the divide is in Congress over the government's surveillance programs and how best to reform them. Kimberly, Halkett, Al Jazeera, Capitol Hill.